Welcome to Ethics for Autonomous and Intelligent Systems. In this video, we are going to introduce and discuss the ethics surrounding the design and conception of autonomous systems. We will be covering the following topics as shown. How do we design an AIS ethically? We can always start by asking ourselves questions. Let's take the solar panel for example. Do you think it benefits humans and the planet? I would believe so. Now how about this chainsaw attached to a Roomba? It doesn't really benefit anyone except if an unlucky burglar decides to rob your house during its particularly aggressive cleaning cycle. However, ethically aligned design or EAD is not so simple as making a to-do checklist. Many organizations such as the IEEE have researched extensively to assist us in design thinking. From that, we can refer to the 3 pillars framework for help. The first pillar ensures that whatever you design must align with humanity's values and rights. Not only that, but it must have a positive impact on the environment and our natural resources. The second pillar is when designing an AIS, it should be politically neutral and be a champion of democracy, while respecting individual cultures. They should not use our personal data for anything unethical. And finally, every AIS should be designed in a way that is safe, reliable, and achieves our goals. It would be ultimately frustrating if your Amazon Alexa smart house fires an LG M118 silo-based intercontinental ballistic missile at your house every time you accidentally leave the lights on. Now, these pillars are just broad aspects of the framework which has been delivered, but we can identify the general principles of ethical design for a more in-depth perspective. Effectiveness. Anything you design has to be useful and effective. Transparency. How the AIS makes decisions should be made public. Accountability. The AIS should make decisions with clear reasons. The awareness of misuse. The creators of AIS should take precautions about potential misuses. Human rights. Don't kill anyone. Well-being. Try not to kill anyone. Competence. The creators should specify the proper instructions for safe operations, as common sense nowadays is the least common. Data agency. Anything this guy doesn't want you to have. As the AIS evolves to mimic humans more in our decision making, we can apply classical ethics theories such as virtue ethics, deontological ethics, utilitarian ethics, and ethics of care, which would give us a better understanding of the issues behind EAD. I would define these further, but as we all know from our mathematics classes, the understanding is trivial and is left as an exercise to the reader. The first issue is that we need to define how autonomous these AIS are. Because as a fully autonomous human, we have true morality and emotions, so we are accountable for all of our actions. Who is to blame if an AIS commits crime? Second, the language used in discussing ethics may be complicated for people to grasp. Imagine companies with interdisciplinary workers trying to read a 294-page ethics book. You can even try it yourself. Pause the video now and see which sentence in the orange box is easier to understand. And finally, implementation. Who better to teach EAD to than the creators of the AIS? Classes such as this should be taught to engineering graduates in an interesting way. EAD should also be enforced at engineering companies during their product design stage. Based off the general principles, an important aspect of EAD is revolved around our personal data and its agency. As a human, we have rights to our personal data and we should know how it can be used by the government and organizations. Here are some recommendations. Creation. Individuals should be given the right to create terms and conditions for personal data access by government and organizations. These terms should be clear and easy to understand by anyone requesting consent for our data. Curation. As with the evolution of AIS, our lives have also been significantly changed. We now don't need to personally take care of our data, but we can have an algorithmic agent to help us do so. These agents should allow us to set concise permissions for specific uses of our data, inform us if there is any breach in security, and protect us in any case of data misuse. And finally, control. As individuals, we should be able to control what part of our data gets to be shown online or harvested. Specific personas should be able to be created and controlled for various applications. You would not want your academic supervisor to be able to see how many times you visited the pub instead of writing your reports which you applied for an extension due to computer problems. With that said, ethics are an important part of engineering and should always be thought of during the design process. Thank you.